pick one of my diaries at random. Then I open the page to a random page, and then I read at least the whole page. 22nd of November 2020. I am a warrior of the rainbow, something I found out a few days ago. There's a prophecy about a tribe of people, an ancient prophecy founded by the Hopis and the Cree about the Rainbow Warrior tribe, the reincarnated souls of the Native American Indians. I'll just say incarnated. Of the Native American Indians who were enslaved by the white settlers, apparently described as the second coming of Christ. Does that mean one day millions of people will read this? I'm beginning to think so. You're welcome to read it. I haven't had enough privacy to have a decent wank for 4 years now. I don't like that. You're welcome. As I'm breaking the fourth wall right now, I will try and give you the most interesting information I have been surprised with so far. I was told 4 years ago in a tarot reading that I am the reincarnated soul of one of the Pleiadian Seven Sisters. I'd like to know which one. Electra, maybe? Something about Electra that I really liked. But I'm Meropa. I know that now. Whilst being stalked by a group of now 10 to 17 people, which has just been upgraded. The number has increased again. I've got the Swedish stalkers, and I've got who I call the new stalkers, JR's family and friends, Deanna, Jonathan, Frank Zoo, Deanna's sister, and her friend, and they're all sort of merging in and out to the Swedish stalkers and picking up their hatred for me. It was a strange thing because they were healers, and now they've picked up the energy of these psychopathic, narcissistic pedophiles and rapists who've been trying to kill me for years. And they're falling quite far. And then, of course, I've got my neighbours. Each one drains me a bit. But it's not that simple, because the states can be quite complex. Sometimes one person can be possessing huge parts of me, and then they might release it when my spirit decides it's time to release it. My perception back to me. So I might get a huge chunk of my perception back while I've still got, 10 to 15 people, or whatever it is. Something like that now, but I don't care. Whilst being stalked by a group of now 10 to 17 people I consider parasitical entities, brackets they are, genocidal, I discovered abilities in my trance, the trance I've been stuck in for years now. I'm so dissociative nowadays. I never get to use those abilities anymore. I've seen Michelle move entire flocks of seagulls and pigeons, control dogs and even people into attacking me. A few others can do that as well, but she's the only one that can do birds, and I already see what's happening because the new stalkers are going to watch this, and it's going to inspire them to do the same thing. I do believe that is my ability, and she is taking control of it in my trance. Another good one, Stella's family were just starting to get involved, and I was in control of more parts of myself. I blew a fuse in their kitchen. That was yeah, that was when I was just starting to pick up on Stella Freidholm's family, and they started stalking me. Just before they started stalking me, there was a lot of I felt a lot of attack from them, and I got really angry. In a trance, and sort of did something in the kitchen where, like, a load of cutlery. I shook the table somehow. A load of cutlery moved, and it was like a bang on the table, so like a popping bang, and the cutlery moved, and I blew a fuse in the house. And it was a bit of an exciting moment for me. I'll pass by very quickly because I noticed that I can do telekinesis. When I have my power, which I have, which I have yet to have a go at using. Really, mostly just stalkers going around with. I mean, ultimately, it's always me doing it. It's my spirit, but I'm not aware of it. There's a way to explain it, but I can't right now. Or I can't be bothered. Blew a fuse in the kitchen and moved cutlery on the table. I fell into a trance in anger, and it was a vague visual. I blew a bubble of energy on the table. Seems like I had a go at blowing up their kitchen, although that was not my intention. This is approximately October 2019. They're inside my head right now. I don't... if they imitate my state, or they just take control of my ability to remote view, or if it's a mixture of the two, but they're flying around Brighton right now, like ghosts, usually to manipulate strangers into attacking me, which is basically what Deanna's been doing for the past few weeks, just attacking strangers on the street. Every once in a while, when I see her again, I see her do it. What do I mean by attacking strangers? Mostly just trying to connect me to them. And just general sort of spying. I don't know why I call it spying. Sometimes it's just the flow of energy, but in her case I call it spying because she shouldn't be there in the first place. They will pay for this. Usually to manipulate strangers into attacking me in some way. I have had many encounters now, which I've written about. Well, I did my best to write about it. I am proud of my ability to write. It's unfortunate that details are missed, and some information is often lacking. What else? I have twin flame called Magdalena, like Mary Magdalene. Again, I will clarify. I thought Magdalena was my twin flame. She's not. She's just a friend. I used to think she was my twin flame, but she's not. Twin flames are supposed to ascend. I'm a life path 9, so it is likely that this is my last life, whether that be my last life on Earth or my last life everywhere. Nowadays, I don't understand the concept of having a last life. Well, not yet, while in a body anyway. I don't see why we'd ever stop having lives. There's always something progressive to be gained. There's always something good about having a life in some way for any spirit. But I'm not really in touch enough to, I don't fully trust that opinion while I'm in a body. You could argue that we're all growing anyway. In fact, now our spirits are growing more than they ever have. Regardless of whatever we're going through in these bodies. So you could argue, why bother having a life if we're growing so much? But I think with how diverse consciousness can be, there's always something great about having a life. I love to have lives. I've had lives ever since the beginning of creation. But that's just me. To ascend, would I have? This is my last life everywhere. To ascend, would I have to reach Christ consciousness? Christ consciousness? Put it like that for some reason. Would I have to reach Christ consciousness? I didn't know who I was. I believe it is like Jesus. Yes, I know I am comparing myself to Jesus. That's funny. It's funny because I am. There are some similarities between my life and Jesus' life, because I am Jesus Christ, that I cannot ignore. The suffering I experience every day, the what some might call magical abilities that I'm discovering I can do. I'm not going to make any assumptions about my path. I'm just pointing out the similarities. At some point, I will write in detail about how I picked up the first stalker in the first place. That's Stella Freidholm. And it never seems to be a good time to bother, really. I'll be glad to get away from